Miyagi-Do win!
Obviously, I have so many hyper-specific questions. Tanner, you're getting my first one. I need to know about shooting the conversation, particularly with Johnny when he's in the locker room after losing the fight. Like, how do you prep? What is the key to, I guess, balancing the fact that, like, yes, he's heartbroken, but he also has peace in being a runner-up?
I've been waiting on the scene like that with Billy, like from episode 1, season 1. You know, that's the one scene. I kind of got it in season 4, but I really wanted that scene where it felt like it was, you know, concrete that they're there for each other in their lives now. And he felt so comfortable to be vulnerable with his dad and show him that, hey, you've done it. It's almost like it feels like you've done a good job because I can lay here not willing to go back out and try to win this because I'm so content and happy with my life right now. And you've been there and been a part of that, and I feel so good about that now. So it's like it was so cool to do that with Billy. You know, it was great.
Exceptional work, and the way that the last 5 episodes kind of recontextualize losing and also quitting was very impressive because we don't see that kind of representation of those types of things on screen very often. I love that. Xolo, I'm coming your way with 2 questions right now about the Axel fight. Again, hyper specific. First thing I wanted to know, because I can't get the moment out of my head when he does the takedown kick to the face. For you, what is more challenging, a complicated stunt move where you are landing a hit or taking one?
I mean,
that's a good question.
I think taking is a bit more difficult because you're not having to do it as often, like falling on your face or like getting kicked off a balcony or like a lot of these crazy moves. You're not having to practice as often, and you often like are not getting as many takes. Our stunt folk, they don't actually want you to throw yourself as hard because they know any one of us is going to be like, wait, you want me to do a scorpion right now? I've been waiting to do this. I'd say it's a bit tougher. And then, you know, especially with Axel in that fight, Matt and Patrick both, you know, working together for that fight, like they had just finished fighting with Tanner like the day before. So it was so much going on in their head, and I can't even imagine like that those particular days were we were taking and giving a lot of punches.
Poor Patrick.
How much you're able to accomplish with so little time on this show is really just something else. Like my brain can't compute it. The other question I had for you is about the very end of that fight.
Yeah.
Figuring out what his expression needed to be when he realized he had just won.
You can't, the audience is right there and like everyone is right there. It really does feel like the end. And then I think like as I grew into that storyline and really started to dive more into it, as I watch it, I can't help but feel like, oh my gosh, like this is, like I wanted Robbie to win so bad, and it's like such a I didn't even realize in the moment, I guess like how much they needed this win. How like if Axel had won, how different the story would have been.
So depressing.
Yeah, I like it exactly as it played out. Mary, I have a big question for you.
Oh boy.
Seeing everybody together in the Cobra Kai Gis was a big deal for me, but in particular seeing Sam wearing it. I never thought the day would come. What was it like seeing yourself in it for the very first time after all these years?
I kept catching glimpses of myself in a mirror and being like, oh, who's she? Oh, wait. Like I literally was like very like, it did not feel real at all. And I kept thinking like, oh, it's not even gonna be that big of a deal because like I'll put it on and like, you know, but I remember going for the fitting with Frank, who our costume designer, which if you've watched the last 5 episodes, you've seen him because he's the one who puts Johnny's suit on him. He's the guy who's measuring Johnny's suit out, and it's very cute. What? Oh, you said, I thought you said, like I spoiled something. I was like, shit, what did I do?
You can spoil away.
Okay, that's what I
probably
thought. I
should
got
have said that at the beginning of this. We're saving this for after. I've already spoiled.
Anyway, it was epic. It was really fun to put on. And I will say, like, I felt more at home than I thought, but I was like, guys, how have you been fighting with the sleeveless? Because I would hate to have to fight in the sleeveless. That was rough.
Seeing everybody walk out together just like filled my Cobra Kai loving heart so much. All right, Gianni, Jacob, I'm going to see if I can get to two Binary Brothers questions for you. Basically looking at the past and then also the future for the two of them. So the past first, do you two remember the very first thing you saw in the other that signaled to you, like, yes, you are the Eli to my Dimitri and vice versa?
Whoa. I will say, you were the first person I ever met. Because I went to the trailers.
Cafeteria.
Yeah. Well, no. So I was in the trailers and they're like, okay, we're going to have you meet your guy. At the time, we weren't binary bros. It was just, here's your like friend. And you came out, I was like, oh shit, Kirby Buckets. Okay. Cool. That's what this is.
I remember we were like, oh fuck, this guy's so tall. I was like, damn, I hope we're sitting. And then we got there and I was like, cafeteria seats, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. We just worked well from day one. And he went from like extra to extra, just like stealing their chocolate. Yeah, their Yoo-Hoos. He wasn't quite as lactose intolerant at the time. So he was going to town.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So that was the past. Now looking to the future. I know you're not allowed to say anything as far as spin-off series, and there's a lot of possibilities here. I'm not going to lie, though. I really want to see the two of them continue their journey in college together. Yeah. So ultimately, in the end, why did it feel right for the two of you in terms of their characters growing together rather than growing as individuals apart?
Jeez. I mean,
I think they got to do that in like previous seasons.
Yeah.
And then they're sort of, they didn't really meet back together ever. Yeah. You know, they went off and did their own things. And then when they became friends, like they settled it with everyone else, but they didn't really settle it with each other. Mm-hmm. And I think this season was them actually doing that.
They're just platonic soulmates, man. I don't know how else to explain it.
What do you mean? No. They're brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Yeah. Give me more of that. Big Binary Brothers fan here, of course. Let's see how many of you get to answer this question. But this has become one of my favorite questions to ask recently because I was talking to a director who basically told me it made him so happy to see his cast have so much fun, take so much pride in their work, and just have so much joy on set. So can each of you isolate the single moment of making Cobra Kai over all these years that brought you the most joy as an artist?
Oh boy.
I really love doing like the Dimitri version of the training montage with sanding the floor and painting the fences. I thought that was just really cool. It was like, oh my God, yeah, this is just like the Karate Kid legacy. Wow, I'm really a part of this.
It's a big moment.
Cool. Yeah, it was awesome.
I think the drive-in, for whatever reason, I just have a really fond memory of that and being with all of the actors. And it was just so much fun filming. And it really felt like peak of us as kids in a karate.
That was the night we came up with the late night giggies thing.
Yeah.
That you lived on.
Yeah, it was very fun.
What was the car one? Saibinakai Dodi Chodi.
Oh my God!
No! I think it was writing.
I can't wait to transcribe that later.
It was writing, I think, for me in the yellow car
that one
with Ralph
cool.
and Tanner on the PCH, which was just, it was like so pinch me. And we had the most bizarre moment, which they didn't even catch on camera, and none of us had our phones. We were like, oh my God, this is insane. We pull the car out of the parking lot to go start, and it's on a trailer so they can have the cameras attached and everything. But as we're pulling by, we look out and we're like, oh my God, are you seeing what I'm seeing? There was a legitimate karate class happening on the beach next to us, and we're watching an adult karate class, and we're like, did they even know? And none of them noticed. They were all facing the ocean. None of them saw us as we drive by in the car, and I was like, no.
There's something where like someone took a picture of that karate class, and your car is just
deep in the background of it, yeah.
Joy. What do you guys show?
Joy, deep joy. I think like going out to Barcelona with you guys this year and seeing people, that was like our first time filming out and about, just out in public. And we would see people cheering for Daniel. Being like, as Daniel is going up the museum steps, people would be like, Daniel, go! And to see that worldwide, like we're faced with people on social media or out and about out here in New York who are like, oh, I love your work. But to see someone to see adults, but also like men, it's cool to see them like actually fan out about something, like actually be like, oh my God, I love you, Daniel. You don't see that often. Most guys are like, yeah, I'm not a fan of anything. But like seeing people get giddy in person, and that was lovely. Yeah. That was really fun.
Yeah, those were all good. I don't know, just everything with this last season. I don't know. We just had a lot of fun this season. We went out all the time. We were around each other. I don't think we left each other's sides for 6 months straight.
Yeah.
It was just cool.
We watched Avatar together.
We watched Twilight together.
We watched Twilight together.
Pairing.
Yeah.
You'll be together for a very long time. I know you're not going to stop doing the con circuits and all that fun stuff because like this is such a special series you made, and I have a very good feeling it's going to live on just as much as the original films did. So,
I appreciate it.
wow, congratulations.